Go for the stars.
3, 2, 1.
This is the Produce Your Own Life podcast. Life is a script. It's time to write your story. Welcome your host, actor, director, producer, writer, and author of the recently released book, Shattered, A Journey Through the Pieces, the man who inspires millions through storytelling and interviews, the one, the only, Rodney Damon Collins.
In Black history, this face right here, Mr. Bill Cobbs, incredible actor, pioneer, trailblazer. His career spans 50 years, including 120 television and film projects. I got first exposed to Mr. Cobbs in one of the movies, New Jack City, when he took out Nino Brown. But his career expands from all the way from back in the 70s all the way till now, and his recent projects, even he's been on The Neighborhood, he's been on the TV show Greenleaf. Just look this man up. Bill Cobbs is a hero. He is incredible, and I thank God for this man. This man pulled me in his life, and he allowed me to learn from him. He's mentored me since I've been living in Los Angeles. And you, Mr. Cobbs, you are Black history. You are a hero, and we give you your flowers today. Let's celebrate Mr. Bill Cobbs. Cleveland, Ohio, represent. Love you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing very well on this beautiful Tuesday. This is the last Tuesday of February. Can you believe that? The last Tuesday of the month, and we're already heading into the month of March, which will be the end of the first quarter of 2021. Man, time goes fast, man. So I hope you're enjoying yourself and taking care of yourself this day. This is the Produce Your Own Life TV show / podcast. My name is Rodney. I am the host and creator of the show. Today, we're going to have a great conversation with a brother of mine who is an author who has numerous books that are available and on Amazon and other platforms, which we're going to discuss. He is a poet, and he knows it. He has plenty of knowledge to drop on us. And hailing from, the beautiful state of Georgia, I want to show some love, and will you all show some love for my brother, Mr. Nolan Holloway, also known as the Scribe.
Hey guys, good afternoon.
All right, you are in the house. What's up, my brother?
Nothing much, man. Just working through the day. Been looking forward to you and I. You spoke to me a few months ago saying, hey, I want to have you on. So I've been counting the days, and here we are.
Well, if you count the days to this show, man, you just made my day. I appreciate that, my brother. You're looking good,
Trying to, Rodney, trying to get a little something going here.
It looks good. It looks good on you, man. The audience, I think they agree with me too. It looks real good on you, man. I thank you for coming in and, spending a little time with me today. I know it's a little later in the afternoon for you out there in Georgia. So, how's your week going? Getting off to a good start?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's 70. It'll be 70 this afternoon. So
yeah.
weather's trying to turn around a little bit. I feel for my people in Texas. I've got friends that live down there and they're still going through it. So just praying for them that they'll get to it, because a lot of the country's getting hit hard, man.
Man, we definitely need to keep that in prayer. And there are plenty of ways, which I've shared as well, how people can donate to help, the people in Texas, because incidents like that, they take months to recover from.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll see the incident happen. It'll be all in the news. And then a couple of weeks later, we just move on with life. And these people are still trying to rebuild their lives. So thanks for bringing that up about Texas and reminding everybody, it's pretty serious. And, the weather here is pretty nice. Yesterday, we had 81 degrees yesterday.
Yeah, see, you've been out in Cali. Been out in Cali. Yeah, you guys got that nice weather out there.
Man, that's why I live here, man. Some people be like, how can you afford that? I'll say, man, how can I afford not to? At this point in my life, I need good weather in my life. I really do. I really do. I need to come outside and see the sun pretty much 320 days a year. I need to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, so why don't you just break it down, man? I know you are an incredible author and poet, and you are gifted. Just from when we talked and met each other several months ago, which I was on Nolan's show, which we'll talk about Level Up too. and what's coming up with Level Up. But when did you first really get busy, like with poetry, and decided you wanted to become an author with this? Like, when did you decide this? When you were in like fifth grade to start, writing notes
No,
to
it,
girls
it
and
didn't
stuff?
it didn't happen like that at all. It was later in life. As a matter of fact, I started writing poetry when I was 51. I'm
Really?
62 now. So before that, yeah, I used to read a lot, but read some poetry, but really wasn't into poetry and was just living my life. And then when I turned 51, it just seems that was seeing somebody at the time just wrote a little simple rhythmic rhyming type piece. They liked it. And then from that point, we went our separate ways. But I guess the seed was planted. And just after that, it just started to pour out. I would be at work, sitting at my desk working, and
Yeah.
the title or the words would come, and I would just simply write it down. And that process just kept happening over the next few months. And by the time I looked, I had like over 200 poems written down. So it was just like I would just write them and just, not even organize them, just kind of put them to the side, then transpose them into Word. Then I was like, okay, well, what do I do now? I've written all this stuff. Where do
Exactly.
I go with this? Obviously, the internet.
Yeah.
Started researching the internet. And at the time, I mean, there's much more now, but at that particular time, this was back in 2010, 2011.
Hmm.
Wow, there's a lot of there was quite a few poetry sites. So I kind of went through them and just picked one and read through the little admin rules. Hey, you can post, but we want you to critique. For every post, every time you post, we want you to critique too. So I
Wow.
got the courage, posted a poem. For a while, I was critiquing other people's. Man, nobody's responding to mine. And then I got the first response. Her name is Iris Rodriguez. Can't forget her name. I
All
call her
right.
the poetess. She's a powerful. She lives in Connecticut, but
Okay.
she critiqued my first piece and kind of gave me little tidbits here and there, little nuggets, as we might say, to hey, because I was writing a lot of poetry in the first person. He was saying, expand your mind, try to write poetry outside of yourself as well. You can write about what you're experiencing, but write outside your experience. That way people will relate to you. So I just continue to refine my voice. And I feel as though I found writing over the course of time, I think I found my voice.
Nolan, I love how you just described this journey into, becoming an author, because many of us think, when you get a certain age, you like, okay, now you need to go ahead and just, everything that you wanted to do is gone, just go ahead and just do whatever, prepare for retirement. It seems like you in a totally second career now.
It seems as though, yeah, definitely.
And I know that to me that you gave me energy when you first told me like how you got started. I was like, man, that was encouraging to me, but also to a lot of people I know, because I talk to a lot of people who feel like, okay, after I've worked in corporate America 20, 30 years, I'm just gonna retire and chill. I'm like, no, man, to me, God gave me work and gifts to use. I'm gonna use them. I'm not sitting on the porch drinking lemonade when I
Oh no, gotta keep. I've heard before where people say you gotta keep moving, and I truly believe that even if you get, I mean, I'm wiser. I've learned a lot through my
yeah.
life, and at this particular point, just to sit back, yeah, I can relax at some point, but I gotta keep moving. I gotta keep my mind active and keep me active. I've watched my mom, who was a big part of my life, still
Yeah.
is, but she's been suffering from Alzheimer's. She started with dementia and
Uh-huh.
Alzheimer's for like the past 10 years. And she's basically a shell of who she was. And some of my poetry has helped me through that by writing what I felt and what I was feeling about looking at her and the
Yeah.
situation that she's going with. She's still here, 85, but she's really slowed down. She lives with my sister, and my
Hmm.
sister's a primary caregiver. And with COVID, I haven't really had the opportunity to see her as much as I've wanted. So
Yeah. Man, well, I'm gonna definitely keep you in prayer with that, because I know it's a lot to,
oh
be
yeah,
with
very
your mom
much.
or watch what she's dealing with. So poetry, you mentioned that through your poetry, you've actually been able to process and deal with this. So would you say one of the a strong element of poetry for you is healing?
I think it is. I think just the process of just continuing to write. And I could tell that changes was happening because I could look at what I first wrote as
Yes.
opposed to how I write now. And I can see the difference. I can see the difference. And I know it's a gift and a blessing because of situations where I can read other people's poetry and I'll see the rhythmic patterns. I'll see if it rhymes, it'll jump out off the page. Like you have so many different styles. The first line rhymes with the third line, or the second and third lines rhyme. I'll be
Yes.
able to read the piece and be able to pull, oh, okay, I can see what type of pattern they're using in their work. So I know it's just not in me. It's been a gift that I've been given to be able to see and be able to pull those things out. Because I'll amaze myself at stuff that I write. Because I'll go back and read it. And I'm like, when I'm writing it, I'm not conscious of it. I'm just kind of putting something together. But then when I take a step back and go back, like when I read through my books now, I'm like, wow, I amazed myself. Those words came out of me. And at the time I'm thinking, I know it's not me. And that's the thing about it that kind of brings a smile to my face.
Yes.
Wow. Because when I read the line, it's like I'm reading somebody else. But then I know it's me.
Now, when it comes, how many books do you have? Because you have a
I have
lot.
three
Three
books.
books. Yes.
First book, My Baby, was the first book.
Bring
And
it
when
up
I
close
got
to the camera.
and when I got my author copies,
Yeah.
my granddaughter was born the same day.
All
So
right.
this is into my rotation, a collection of scribes, and I designed the cover. And how this book came about was just writing, not really realizing what I was going to do with it. And a friend of mine, I used to work at MTV, by the way,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we went our separate ways. She ended up in Texas, and she was an English major. So she said, Nolan, why don't you write a book? I'm like, write a book? Oh, never thought of that. So start researching it. Is like traditional publishing. I'm like, man, this is expensive. If I publish this, it was like between $5,000 and $10,000, which I know I didn't
Yeah.
have that kind of money. So I started researching independent publishers, and come to find out, a friend of mine from New York, um, we ended up, I don't know, on Facebook. We ended up reconnected on Facebook, and she shared that, oh, I published. I said, oh, what kind of books do you publish? Oh, I publish like non-fictional books. She did a book by Full Force, the funk group from back in the day. They wrote their book, and she
Yeah.
published through her publisher. I'm like, wow, okay. I said, but I write poetry. He said, well, I really haven't done poetry, but do this. Just pick three pieces and send it to me. Let me take a look at it. So
Mm-hmm.
I, through the technology, emailed her three poems. 2 or 3 days later, she hit me back and she was like, you didn't write this. This was somebody else, right? You just stole somebody's stuff to send. I said, no, it's me. So she and I worked for about 6 months. My friend Fran edited because I was told, don't edit your own work, have
Yeah.
somebody else do it because you're looking at it, you're gonna miss things and make mistakes. And I wanted to put out quality. So we
Right.
went back and forth. I'd send her some of the manuscript, she would edit it, get it back. Once I was happy with the way the manuscript, sent it on, we signed a contract. And maybe a couple of months or weeks after that, I had the first copy. And that book has been out since 2011.
Now, that's a really cool story because you shown, first of all, where there's a will, there's a way. You
You
know,
can do it. And
I
that's
hear
what I tell any
tell me,
writer.
like, well, I got this obstacle, I got this obstacle. I didn't
And
hear
I've
you.
heard that. I've
Yeah.
heard many
Yeah.
authors, which I've gone to spoken word things, and a lot of poets, I'm not a performance poet. I will get up and recite, but I'll
Yeah.
do it with the animation and all of that because I wrote the words, and the words give me, it just puts me in character. So the
Yes.
thing about it is they'll have piles of work never published, which I understand that as well because as a writer, whether it be a poet or you're writing an autobiography, you're writing a story, a little bit of you is in that. And that's kind of scary for people because when
Yes.
you put yourself out there, people are going to see you. They're going to see some of your any work. And
You're
you know,
vulnerable.
you're an actor. So,
Yeah.
a lot of times folks can hide stuff and hide behind that mask so people don't see the real them. When you bare yourself, if you want to be a true artist, you're going to put a little bit of yourself into it. And I find that by doing that, people resonate because they can tell. People know when you're being phony or when you're just writing stuff to, like music artists, you can tell when they put their heart into their music as opposed to just trying to make a commercial cut just to get paid. You can tell the difference.
You definitely can tell that, and you're so right about because being artists, we make ourselves extremely vulnerable, and but and a lot of people they just kind of put the artist world as being vulnerable. But even like when we go for job interviews, everything you got to be willing to let yourself be seen. So corporate America, wherever, school, you got to be bold, and that's why I'm
Oh yeah,
strong.
yeah.
Just having the boldness to say, this is in me. I'm gonna put it out here. And there's people who get good critiques. There's people who be like, I wasn't feeling that stuff, and it's like you can't worry about that.
And I don't. I mean,
Yeah,
I've gotten negative reviews, and my thing is I'm not afraid. That's the
yeah,
thing. I don't have that fear. If I get my thing is this, I challenge the people that read my work, whether you like it or you don't like it, what I like is feedback.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if you didn't like it, because
What
on
did
Facebook, people just like, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Somebody liked my poem. Not that I'm not grateful, but my thing is, why did you like it? Did it touch something in you, or did it make you think of, wow, that piece that my brother could have been in that piece, or somebody that I know or I've experienced or went through that, so that
yes,
I know, okay, my writing is going in the right direction. Because people just clicking on a like doesn't mean, and if you don't like it, I need to know why you didn't like it.
yeah,
That's the other part, because people can, Rodney, on the internet, you
yeah,
can put out a lot of negative stuff and hide behind a tag name, and people don't see you, they don't know you, so you can basically be bold like that. But my thing is, if you're going to be bold, send me, let's talk about it. If you didn't like it, tell me why you didn't like it,
right.
and that's my challenge.
To me, I think anybody who truly wants to grow and be the best they can possibly be is open to constructive feedback. And that's, I laugh like when you said like you'll put something out so everybody click like. I'll be like, why did you like it? I really want to know that because, or did you just scroll past and say, oh, he posted something like, let me keep scrolling. And it's like, to me, I would rather you not click like, just like nothing. If you don't take the time to look at it for a couple seconds, it's cool. I'm not hurt. My feelings not hurt.
Take you, for example. You've been
Yeah,
doing the podcast for a little while now. How
yeah,
do you know how to grow and improve? You got to get some kind of feedback. Either folks
yeah.
like, hey, Rodney, we really like what you're doing. We really like what you're putting out there. We like the content, and being specific. Oh,
Yes.
we like the content. Or when you act in a certain production, oh man, the way you went into that character, that kind of tells, okay, what I'm doing to act or bring into a certain role, I know I'm going in the right direction. If you don't get in the
Yeah.
direction, how do you know? Okay, Ronnie, you're gonna play this role. No, that's why the director's there. No. This is what we need. This is what I want to see. As a
Exactly.
writer, we need the same type of thing too. Hey, Nolan, you may want to be a little bit more descriptive or not use so much cliches and things like that
Right.
in poetry. So it's very similar to what you do.
That's man, you dropping knowledge now. I want to know if you could willing to drop a little bit of poetry on us. Give us one of the poems real quick.
Oh yeah,
I
I
know
can
you're
do
ready.
that.
I know you're ready.
This is my second book,
All
Journey
right,
to the Poetic Light Illuminations, and I'm going to read a piece out of this one. And I
let's
just
do
like to
it.
scroll through randomly and just pick a piece. Okay,
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm
this one
ready.
is called. This is and again in the second book, and it's called When It Comes.
When it comes.
When it comes.
Okay.
Feeling and hugging the joy of life and the promise of moments yet to be, then it comes with the sudden and swiftness of melancholy clouds, not understanding of why. Hope and love was part of where I was heading, fullness in my life, filling with people yet to meet and places I have yet to explore, uplifting to heights where the air is light. Every breath pulls hard to fill me, then it comes. Reaching, it grabs and tries to dislodge the core of me, not prepared to fight right now. So I remain still to listen to a voice that stands with me when it comes.
When it comes. That can apply to a whole lot of principles in life. What inspired that when it comes? Was it
It was,
I'm curious. What
it was
inspired?
just kind of like a feeling where you're trying to figure things out and you're moving and going through your day and going through your routine instead of kind of just staying still and letting that Holy Spirit speak to you so you know when it comes. Because sometimes we get so busy, it comes, we never see it because we're so busy running around doing stuff. So when it comes, we're living, we're loving, we're dealing with our wives, dealing with our kids, dealing with the job. So when it comes, to be prepared and ready for when it comes. So sometimes you got to take a step back and just listen in the midst of everything that's going on. So when it does come, you know when it comes,
Yes.
it is. Because a lot of times things come and it's not of him. It's other things that come. Hey, Rodney, you know you want to go out and you know you want to do this or do that, and that's
Yeah.
the pull of the world. And anybody, that's why I'm glad I'm talking to you today, is you could definitely relate to what I'm saying. Being an actor, we see what celebrityism is when we look at TV. Like you saw the young lady, Amanda Corman, that did the poem for the inauguration. Look how that changed her life. Now she had written a book, and I understand that people knew about her book, but her book went from being maybe known by a few people. Now she's a #1 bestseller just for that one moment when it came. And she prepared herself and was ready for that moment. So when it came, it changed her life. She's modeling now. She has her degree, and her life today is definitely like the way it was before she did that poem. And that rolled into her doing a poem for the Super Bowl. And I was sitting there thinking, man, I would love to be in that position to be able to have that opportunity come my way. And I have to understand that. Happy for her, not mad at her, but making sure that I'm open so when it comes, I'm ready.
That is a word. That is a word right there, man. That, if I had a organ right now, I'd be like, because you're talking right there. That's really the essence of it. Is that we should work our craft. Yes, I clap for everybody who achieve things in my in the entertainment world. I celebrate them because I understand what they've had to go through to get there.
Right.
So I don't hate on nobody. But while I'm clapping for them, I'm gonna say, okay, let me do my work. Let me keep my head down and focus on what I need to do, my craft. So when it's time to feature, I'm ready. When it's time to get that role that's gonna change my life completely, like my family's whole trajectory, I need to make sure I'm ready.
And that's what I'm looking for as well. I want to roll these books into being on different platforms, getting my word out so people can say, hey, check me out. That's all I ask. Just read my work and let me know what you think about what it is. So, and that's my thing now. If it rolls into that, that's the blessing that I'm willing and open to receive.
I have a question. Since we are broadcasting through YouTube right now too, so those of you guys who are watching, make sure you subscribe to this channel and like it because I don't stop. But have you thought about? Do you have a YouTube channel?
I have a channel, but I haven't worked it the way that I need to. That's something I've been thinking about, just having a YouTube channel, because I see other people doing it, just trying to make the time, want to get the correct content, because I'm doing internet radio, so I'm kind of familiar with, hey, you just got to get on, and I'm always getting on my timeline on Facebook, hey, start a podcast, we do use this stuff, and I have the equipment, because I'm doing voiceovers, so I already have the equipment. So it's something I have been thinking about.
Well, I'm gonna speak some life to you right now that you should get that YouTube channel. Even if you post your content, if it's once a day, you do a 5-minute poem.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you will be amazed at how quickly especially right now with everybody pretty much still kind of stuck in the house. We can do some things, but we're still not back to normal.
Yeah, most everything is virtual now.
Yeah. So it's like this is a prime opportunity, and YouTube is still probably the top when it comes to being an entrepreneur online and building your platform and making money. It really is. It still beats Instagram, everything. YouTube is still.
And that's the thing too, right? Because I have the content. Like I said, I can go on like you said, maybe do a couple of pieces and then
Yeah.
open the lines for people to ask questions, or if there's aspiring poets, give them my journey, or kind of mentor someone that's kind of on that line to try to figure out where they're going. Because I see it on social media all the time. People are saying, hey, I've got this manuscript. What do I do with it? Or I've been writing stuff, but I don't know where to go from here. So it could be a niche that I could fill. So appreciate that.
Man, brother, I definitely think it is. You can entitle it Nolan's Neighborhood. you know, it's just, I was just like, and it don't even require a whole lot of time. Just how you doing the video now, put a
Right.
little subtle background music to it. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Nolan. With the
And that's the other thing. I was listening to your intro, and I said, well, maybe later on Rodney will want to redo his intro and say, hey, Nolan, you want to, here's a script. So I want you to read the script to do my intro. So I'm available.
See, there you go.
Just to let you know.
And everybody who's watching and who's listening, this is a brother of mine, Nolan Holloway. He's author, poet. He also is a voiceover artist. You can listen to his voice and know he can do some characters for you. So those of you guys who are in the animation world too, listen out for his voice. Yeah, man. Hey.
And you're never too old because, like, as an actor, well, Rodney, when you go to it, we need somebody this age to this age and this and that. Just like with voiceover, hey, we want a older, more mature voice as opposed to young boy. So there is opportunity. So people kept telling me that over, hey, man, you got your voice. And I kept hearing it. So something said, you know what? Move on that. Don't just keep listening to people tell you that. Do something. So my wife gifted me with the mic.
Yes.
I got the sound pads in the room and got my little corner and been practicing using audio files and editing and things like that, and getting the room right and all of that. So it's just taking a chance, venturing out and not being afraid.
To me, it's an incredible thing. And nowadays, we can definitely monetize so many of our gifts because we don't have to find somebody who will listen to us. You can put it out there. Like, we don't have to go to somebody's door knocking. You can just put the content out. And trust me, somebody is going to see you eventually if you consistently put the content out. Last year, my YouTube channel, when I really got intentional, because all the way up until about July, I had about 250 subscribers. I was like, yeah, it's cool. It grew. Now I'm just under 6,000 subscribers to my YouTube channel because I've been intentional about my content, making sure it's really branded and what people are knowing me as. So I really want to encourage you with that, man. You'll be amazed. And I'm really pretty much, my YouTube channel is eligible to be monetized now. Like, advertisers can start buying time on my videos. So
okay. That's something that, that's something that if I have questions and things like that, I know how to get in contact with you. So I'll definitely be reaching out, kind of picking your brains and stuff on, got the stuff to get started. But again, just kind of getting it together. And just like you said, start off, hey, maybe with just one per week or something like that and see where it goes from there. And just like I said, just like I'm learning the voiceover vibe and writing, same thing with this as well. You consistent and you put in the time, you can reap the benefits.
You will definitely reap it. YouTube, I think right now makes a little over so many millions per hour. The channel does. The YouTube network.
Right.
Worth hundreds of billions of dollars. So they're not running out of money.
Not at all. Not at all.
So I really want to encourage you. I can't just stress that enough, man. You can schedule and do it in the first thing in the morning, like after you get dressed. Be like, okay, let me knock out my video. People know when to tune in to you at that time. Boom.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's really amazing. So I really just can't stress that enough. I see it, and I had to stop on that right there.
Not a problem. I appreciate it.
Yeah. You never know. I could be speaking to the next YouTube millionaire right now. I'm serious, man. All it takes is the right person at the right time to see. And before you know it, your life changes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Now, I wanted to ask you too, like, as far as, like, your books are on Amazon right now, right? Are they on any other platforms?
Yeah, well, the thing is that I'm working on updating my website. There was an issue with that, so that domain went away. So I'm working on that. I'm on all 3 books are on Amazon. The third book, Life Between the Words, is also all 3 are on Amazon, but the Life Between the Words is in Kindle. So one of the versions in Kindle, the other ones are in paperback, and also on Goodreads.
All
So
right.
they can purchase the books on Goodreads or on Amazon.com.
Okay. Well, we get ready to we're gonna take a quick break, and I want to bring another Black History moment out. You know, Black History is every day,
and I've been watching you, and I've been learning some stuff too.
And my TikTok, man, that's what I can believe it, because I do a TikTok one every day, and I said I'm going to do this pretty much every day the rest of the year, every day, all the time, because I want to just celebrate my culture. And
absolutely,
I'm just gonna celebrate it. It's like, hey, I do a quick post, you know, it goes with the rest of my posts, but I'm finding a lot of people are learning. So I'm gonna feature this one right here, and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
What's up? Back before you. Today is February 9th, 2021, and I'm here before you with another very important moment in Black history. Charles H. Houston was the dean of Howard Law School in the 1930s. He argued very critical foundational legal cases before the United States Supreme Court. These cases set the foundation for the landmark case Brown versus the Board of Education. As a result, racial segregation was abolished in public schools. Thank you, Mr. Houston, for your sacrifice. Thank you for your commitment to Black excellence. Thank you for your commitment to change and bringing a significant impact. We honor you right now. Until tomorrow, I'll be back with another very important moment in Black history. Peace.
All right. Okay, we back. You know, little commercial break.
All right.
You know, and it's funny because my son is my producer, and but he had to go to his job today. He's an actor who just graduated from college last year. He's an actor, but he had to work today, so he's normally doing. I'm like looking at my phone to see what time I need to put stuff out. I'm being a producer. I'm doing it all.
You gotta do everything today.
I'm doing the whole show.
Oh yeah, that's like with the level up. With the real level up, that's what happens sometimes. Angie's got me doing the breaks, and then co-hosting, and so I kind of got the vibe of what you're doing, because I'm doing that every Sunday from 3 to 6.
Oh, and you know what? Since we're talking about the real level up, because I love your show. Can you share a little bit about it? Because
I've been with the show for about I've been with the show for about 2.5 years. Met Angie. Angie and I attend the same church, Lakewood Church of Hope in Atlanta. So she kind of just walked up to me one day and said, "Hey, I'm looking for a co-host," because her show was transitioning. And she said, "Would you consider being a co-host?" Didn't even hesitate. I said, "Yeah, why not?" And we started on various internet radio platforms, and I just been vibing with the show. Just learned a lot, learned about audio files, video files, things like that, being able to time things and breaking into commercial drops and having the guests do drops and what that means and what that entails, and then the demographics of how many listeners are listening in and that important. So I've learned quite a bit doing internet radio. So it's got my comfort level up a lot more, just being on the mic, being in front of the mic, being on camera, and those type of things where I don't even think about it. It's just like I don't get that nervousness and talk in front of folks, no matter what the number is, because that comfort level is just so good. So
I absolutely love the show, and it's on Sundays, 3 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m.
3 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. So that would be what, 12 your time?
12, yeah, because I think my wife and I are supposed to be on the show this Sunday.
Right, exactly. That's how I met you, because you was a guest on the real. And here's the thing, the pandemic is tragic and unfortunate it is. Well, I looked at Biden yesterday, basically giving them more than 500,000 people. Yeah. And what really blew my mind was that's more people than World War I, World War II, and the Vietnam War combined.
Yes.
That blew my mind away. So My thing is get prepared, because these are not just random events that's happening. And I know a lot of people may not vibe with that whole spirituality or believing in God and things like that. But
Yes.
my thing is that these things, you may think that they're coincidence. Me personally, that's not what it is. But again, everybody has their own choice to make their own decisions in reference to certain things. But for me, it's significant. And then I noticed that my poetry, my recent writings have changed, because my poetry is going more social. Because I'm preparing for my fourth book, and I'm just kind of looking over the poetry that I've written, and a lot of it is not I wouldn't say political, more social, speaking to the strife that we've been through, the pain that we've suffered, how we've risen up, and how we need to rise up as a people, not to overshadow anyone, but basically to change our situation, because we know we know what it is. And what we've seen over the last 4 years has been evident of what we've been dealing with. It just came to the forefront. We knew it was there. Yeah, we knew it was always there. But the fact that it came front and center because of the platform that it was given, now we really know what's going on. So,
and the whole world was able to see more.
And it's been global before, just like it was back in the 60s when things was happening to us. People like, oh, you guys are just over exaggerating. But when they showed those images with John Lewis, when they went across that Selma Bridge and sort of the Doberman pinchers, the German shepherds, and those water hoses changed the thoughts of a lot of folks that didn't think that nothing was going on.
Yeah, and that's what I'm grateful for, the sheets being pulled off. And there's some other
to reveal
sheets pulled off, but I won't get too deep in that. But there's some sheets pulled off some people.
And as an actor and as a writer, like my thing is, when I have that pen in my hand and the thoughts in my mind, I can write to those things, which I've been doing that. Been writing to, hey, something's not right here. This is not the way things are supposed to be. I wrote a piece, I don't know if I can find it now, where I compare the racial difference with crayons. A box of crayons. If you open a box of crayons, there's a myriad of colors in a crayon box. But some people want the crayon box to be one color. What good is that if we open a crayon box and all the colors are the same? What makes the crayon box exciting for kids is that they can pick and choose all the different colors to go to that coloring book. And the coloring book is blank. You fill it in how you want to fit. And that's a metaphor for diversity, how things should be, and how God intended for things to be. And that's where that piece came from.
That's the beauty of humanity, is that, so many different types, cultures, and everything. That's beautiful. And it just, when somebody doesn't like another culture, it's because they're afraid of something. And I don't, I just kind of let that go.
It makes no sense to me. It makes the logic of it is it doesn't make sense. I understand what they're thinking as far as I'm going to be better because it makes me feel better, but it doesn't make any sense, especially when my grandmother would tell me stories about from Jacksonville, Florida, when they would take my dad and his brothers and sisters to the beach. Oh, you got to use this particular restroom as opposed to, well, that means you got to build a separate facility with plumbing and all of that. What sense does that make as far as monetizing? Because now you got to pay for 2 different properties, pay extra water bills and things like that. What sense does that make from an economical standpoint? Just because you don't want to drink from the same fountain as somebody else. It just never made sense to me. Even when I was a teenager growing up in the 70s, it didn't make any sense.
In the name of hate.
Exactly. And that's the face of what it looks like.
Yeah. And poetry is very much like songs. Do you ever put music in your poetry? Like do a little spoken word and stuff like that?
Well, I do events, but there's different types of poetry, which, some people, they'll memorize like that. It's like a performance. So you got performance poets, like similar to what you do. They'll memorize their piece. They got the animation and things going. one day I do want to memorize a poem and perform it. But my thing is, I can get in front of an audience with a book or have it printed out and give the same type of performance because I know they're my words. I can enunciate. I can do the hand gestures because I know when it's in here, it comes out and it'll come out the way that I wrote it. So it's almost like performance, just not with the memorization. So there's all different types. And what I liked about the spoken word events that I did, the audiences were very educated. So it was like, well, we respect how he does it and we respect how they do it. Because there's some place you go to, if you don't do it that way, the audience will kind of give you a little shade.
Yeah. It's like, wow.
So, exactly. I just do what I do and I'm comfortable with it. And most of the places that I've gone to recite, I've gotten really positive feedback. There's never been a time where, oh, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do it? I haven't had that experience yet. Not that it won't happen, but so far. But now we're in a virtual world right now. Until this pandemic blows over, that I can actually go to a venue and put on and do a reading.
Yes. I was going to ask you, with being a man of God, and a poet, we should be the experts at romance because there's Song of Songs in the Bible. That's a sweet book. He was right.
That's poetry. If you read it, it's straight poetry.
He was spitting game, right? He was spitting game. So you're married, so if you have a little piece that you can share with us, like so the ladies will know what a man of God, how you should be speaking to her with some poetry.
I do because here's one. This will be one. And this is from my romantic side. It's called Intimate Solitude.
Okay.
I want to be alone with you. Our circumstance rises above the lust that clouds the worldly mind within a fog of confusion. To share the lovely loneliness with you for the remaining days to serve our purpose. Not just to engage and live where everyone else stays, but seeking our own place. A commitment made to my chosen beloved, forsaking all others. As we move alone into the night, the consummate of intimate might. Hard as steel, but touches with the softness of silk.
All right.
Ascending to an illuminating psyche. This intimacy is precious as we move with commitment within our essence. I breathe your fragrance, which brings me heat. Love flows to the tool of your desire. Will you join me in this solitude? We are one, and in love, solitude. Daily being ourselves to reflect and discover who we are. I want to be alone with you as my beloved wife.
I can dig it.
And that piece is like Intimate Solitude. That title just came to me like intimate solitude. Well, how could you be intimate and be alone? And then remember, two becomes one.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from. And then at the very end, because as you read through it, it's like, okay, he's making these references to possibly lovers. But then at the end, I bring it all back to my wife. Not my girlfriend, not my side piece, not my mistress.
Yeah.
My wife. So I'm writing. But as you go through the piece, you're not really sure where I'm going. I know where I'm going. You just don't. And that's that voice that people have told me, man, you really philosophical. You really made me think. And that's kind of where my pieces go. So if that touched someone out there in Rodney Land on the podcast, get at me. Get at me for sure.
They definitely should be getting at you, man. You definitely, another thing, see, I'm having all type of ideas when I'm listening to you. It's like, you should definitely turn some of these poems into like an album,
Been thinking about that too.
Yeah.
My thing is, I know a brother, Alan Poe, who has a studio set up because I'm thinking that I already know with the copyright and all of that. It just can't be any kind of music. It's got to be music where I've got the okay from the artist. So when I'm attempting to do, that's another one of my projects I wanted to do in 2020, but it got kind of sidetracked, is to put together a CD of poems with original music and then recite them in my voice. So that's another thing that I'm wanted to work on. But again, I'm writing the pieces. I don't think I have enough yet. I think I do, because I was looking over them the other day, and I think I have 20 to 30.
Oh,
But
wow.
I know for a CD, I would have to first, which ones do I want? What's the theme of the CD going to be? To me, the poems got to connect
Yes.
in some kind of way. Then I know I can recite them. Then the other part would be, okay, I need a musical artist, whether it's a guitarist or whether it's a group, to put together original music. And when I hear the music, oh man, that music is definitely for this piece, and put it all together. I'm going to do it. I'm working on it.
Man, I know of a very good artist that I can connect you with.
Okay.
If you ever decide to really, I can connect y'all on Facebook and y'all can maybe talk every once in a while. Alvin Frazier, very good brother of mine. He's an artist, recording artist up in Cleveland, but he knows how to compose music. And man, y'all might come together and create something real sweet. So I'm gonna connect y'all.
Okay, that's cool. That'll work.
Yeah, because I think another reason why I do this is because I do want to connect people. Because there are a lot of ways we can get work done if somebody else knows what you do.
Correct.
Okay, let me connect you over here. That's how you get stuff done. This is networking 101. That's what it is.
And I want to challenge anybody that's out there listening on your podcast today. If you're a writer, whether it's poetry or another genre, get at me as well. I can share with you what my process was and how I connected to these independent publishers, or if you're kind of on the fence and not really sure of how to move to the next level, get at me as well. I mean, I've been through the experience, and I can share what I know and what knowledge I have with them.
Man, I am so grateful that you decided to come on my show. I just got some news, some breaking news that I just want to share with everybody, just to send some thoughts and some prayers to Tiger Woods. He out here in Los Angeles, he was just involved in a major car accident where the jaws of life had to be used. So, I don't know how people feel about Tiger. I love Tiger, man. I love what he did. He is Black history, and but before that, he's a man. He's a human being. So it just hit, like the update hit me, and I was like, I just wanted to bring that out there so people.
Not a problem, man. Yeah.
It just once again speaks to the brevity of life and how we take for granted at times that I'll get it done tomorrow.
Don't wait till tomorrow.
Put off tomorrow what you can get done today.
Right. If you got a chance to do it now, and if you woke up this morning and you got life breathed into you, you need to take care of business today.
Yes. There's no guarantee.
No, none whatsoever.
That's why I live my life the way I live it. I entitled this podcast "Produce Your Own Life" because I was like, one of the first things God gave man to do was a job, to produce. He said produce. So we are accountable for using our gifts that we have and produce the things that we want to see in this life. God is like, hey, I put it in your hands to do it. So you're supposed to be the producer. I'm the executive producer. That's what he said. I'm the executive. But you are still supposed to be producing.
He's giving you the script, and he's a director. He's giving you the script. You just have to basically read the script and get into that role.
Yeah, we're personally accountable for everything that happens in our life.
Absolutely everything.
So, man, I want to ask, can you just let people know how they can stay in contact with you and where they can get your books? If you got if you go ahead and do this YouTube channel, you need to let them know to stay tuned. So,
but yeah, stay tuned for that, because Rodney's got me inspired to work on the YouTube. And I even think of a title that's been used on the Real Level Up. I could title the show Vibe with Mr. Scribe.
That's hot. And you know what? You need to create that channel as soon as we're done.
You know what? I'm gonna do that. The books, if you want to purchase the books in different formats, I think one of the books there is an ebook. I can't remember at this point, but you just go to Amazon.com, just type my name in, Nolan Holloway. All 3 books will come up. If you're on Goodreads as well, just type my name or the name of any one of the books. The books will come up. I'm on my Facebook author page is take a view of my rotation.
Mm.
On Instagram, I'm into football at Gman2K because I'm a Giant fan, and I'm on Twitter. Twitter, I think it is MP Holloway. So I'm on Twitter as well. You just look up my name, and I'm on Twitter too. I post my poems on my Facebook page. I also post I do quotes. I use Quotes Creator to create different quotes, and I put those on Instagram, Pinterest. So I'm on really all the social media. So if you just put my name in, you can follow me. I'm encouraging you to follow me. Follow me on my Facebook page. When I post a poem, read through the poem. Just don't like it. Hey, awesome, or you didn't like it, or why you didn't like it. Give me some feedback. Because what I'm basically trying to do is Black man that writes poetry. There's a lot of brothers that do the performance type poetry, but I'm an older guy to show that the older gentleman, it's never too late. I'm 62. I'm trying to stay active, trying to stay vibrant, and try to live what blessing God has for me, He has for you as well. So, like Rodney just said, don't put it off to I'm gonna do this tomorrow. Do it right now. Like he said, his YouTube channel. I'm gonna be working on that right after I get off this podcast with him. It's not that hard to put together, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that.
And you know how to reach me too. You got my number if you need.
Oh yeah, I got you. I got your info.
Yeah, I'll help you figure some YouTube stuff out, man.
Okay.
Man, Nolan, I want to thank you very much for being a guest on my show and for blessing our stage with your gifts. I definitely appreciate that. I want to thank all the viewers and listeners who support this show. And we have 12 countries, listeners in 12 countries that subscribe to the show, the audio podcast. So we greatly appreciate your support for this movement. The podcast, the audio version, is available on every podcast platform that there is. Thank God. So with that being said, life is a script. It's time to write yours. And we want to thank you all for listening and watching the Produce Your Own Life show. Peace.
Appreciate it. Peace.
Thank you for listening and watching the Produce Your Own Life podcast with Rodney Damon Collins. Be sure to rate, like, subscribe, and share on all podcast and social media platforms. If you have questions or would like to be a guest on the show, feel free to reach out to us anytime at produceyourownlifetv@gmail.com. Remember, life is a script. It's time to write your story. Until next time, produce your own life.